Hi guys, this is Matt Granger, that Nikon guy for mattgranger.com. Guess what? I did buy the Nikon 105DC. I was recently in Hong Kong and checked this one out in the Nikon headquarters. You can see the video on the link there. I enjoyed shooting with it. I found it interesting, and after I did those test shots I went and had a look around with a guy I met there and got a really great price on it and decided to test it out. But that means I decided to buy it. And it's really nice. I've used it on a few shoots and it's super sharp. I mean, the 85 1.4 and the 70-200 VR2 are both extremely sharp lenses, but I think this one may just beat them. And the bokeh it produces is just beautiful. So two things. I want to show you how it looks on video as well. But first of all, let's give you a little close-up on how the lens itself looks. Okay, here we are with the 105DC. It is autofocus. It's not a G lens. It's not gilded. It still has the aperture ring, so you can use this on your older cameras. To use it on an automatic camera like a modern one, you turn it around to the orange, f16, lock that down, and then the body will control your aperture. The only other normal adjustment it has on it is this one, manual or autofocus. Again, if you're using it on a cheaper digital body, you'll need to put in manual and then do it by yourself. In automatic, that ring locks and you can't do it. It doesn't have an override. It's got a built-in hood, which is kind of nifty. It's quite smooth and comfy. The cap is 72mm, and that fits actually inside the hood, which is an interesting design, I think. So how does the defocus control work? This is something that baffles a lot of people, and it had me totally confused as well. Basically, let's say that you're focusing on someone's eye in a portrait. Their eye's right here. Then you've got a couple of centimeters in front that's still going to be sharp and a couple of centimeters behind that's still going to be sharp. So that is your total depth of field, the total amount that's going to be sharp in your shot. When you move this defocus control, if you have it on center, it'll still have it on the focal point. But if you shift it to, one of the either front or rear positions, it actually moves the lens elements inside the lens and shifts the focus point to the front or rear of that, which affects the out of focus areas. So when you're at f2, you can only use front 2 or rear 2 or center. When you're at 2.8, you can use anywhere in that whole range. So you could do it halfway to 2 rear or 2 front, or all the way to 2.8 front or rear. It's the amount that you are out of focus. Then once you're out at 5.6, you can use the whole range for how much of the shifting from the front and rear of the depth of field that you want to play with. So it's relatively simple. The effect that it creates is subtle, but it's definitely there. Let's go. Okay, now I'm going to pop this one onto the camera at f2, no defocus control applied, and show you just how beautiful the out of focus areas are. Okay, so here we are at 105 at f2, and you can see how nice and soft the background is. One thing to keep in mind, if you're using a cheaper body like I am, the D50-100, that doesn't have a built-in autofocus motor, this lens won't autofocus on your camera. And at f2, you really need to be very precise. So let me show you how I did it. Okay guys, so here we are with the 105. Now the depth of field is so shallow, how I'm getting correct focus, I focused in on this light stand, measure up my eye to it, then just pop it out of the way, so then it looks like, hey presto, I'm all in shot. And to focus in on that head, I zoom in on the LCD screen as big as it'll go, and then manually tiny tweaks until it looks super sharp, walk back and forward until I know that I'm in focus. So you can see that's really nice. It's nice and sharp. It's probably not quite as sharp as a photo would turn out because, as I said, I'm doing it a little bit by eye that way. But the background is nice and soft. Let me just show you with a really big depth of field what the scene looks like so you can appreciate how shallow this really is. Okay, so here we are, same shot at f11, and you can see a lot more of the background. It's not nearly as nice and separated as it is with such a small depth of field. But let's continue with this anyway. So really like this lens. It'll be hard to focus using all-in manual focus at f2 with such a small depth of field. I'd recommend you using it on, I think it's a D90 or up, have the autofocus motor built in, and then you'll be sweet. I'm planning to do some detailed sharpness and image quality testing to compare this to the 85-1.4 and the 70-200. Once that video is ready, you can click on the link that's on screen now and you'll be able to find that one. But in the meantime, I can tell you, for an older lens, it focuses extremely fast and accurately. Probably not as fast as the 70-200, but definitely faster than the brand new 85-1.4G. And the price is a lot more reasonable than both of those lenses. So, you know, a really interesting option, especially with the defocus control. So now I'm just going to take some boring sample shots to show you, and then we'll jump into some shots I've taken on proper shoots.
Okay, this is at f2 at front focus. This is f2 with no defocus control applied. And that's f2 with rear defocus control. You're really trying to look at the background. So that's f4 front focus, f4 none, and then f4 rear. It's subtle, but there is a difference in the blur.
Okay, and last of all, here's a series of different images that I've actually taken using this lens since I bought it, and I'll give you some crops as well just to show you how incredibly sharp it is.
Okay, this first one comes from a recent private body shoot that I'm going to upload very soon. Check out how sharp that is. Now look at the 100% crop on the eyes. Check out the eye color and you can see her contact lenses. It's so sharp. Here's another shot from that shoot, and then I'll do a full crop in on her face so you can see where I was focused. Lighting wasn't as good, but still very sharp. And then here is one of her beloved puppies. Now take a look at the full crop on that. So extremely shallow depth of field, but where it's sharp, it's just pin sharp.
Yeah, I have to say, I really like this one. You'll be seeing a lot more of it. Thanks for watching, guys. This is Matt Granger, that Nikon guy, for mattgranger.com.